Look, let me just say, I don't think there's anything wrong with playing a female avatar in a video game. It's just, if you have any sort of belief in or hope for an isekai situation, you may want to reconsider. Hello, and welcome back to Binging Last Season, where this video is going to be pretty short because I have been very busy this month, but more importantly because I put a lot of effort into the last one and it did not do well. So this week we're talking about isekai because that's what I watch when I'm stressed. I got 3 for you today, and we're starting with A Wild Last Boss Appeared, which is basically just it's just an isekai with a budget. A man plays a video game way too much under the guise of his female heaven-winged character Lufus Mafal, who has basically become so powerful in-game that people consider her to be the true final boss. The game incorporates notable characters into its lore, so when he gets isekai'd and Lufus reappears in the world, it is considered a big fucking deal. The anime follows Lufus on her journey to collect her minions and make things right in the world, which is why I said this is just a standard isekai, but it's got a real nice budget. The fight scenes are so well polished I could almost forget to complain about stuff. Almost. You see, this anime does not need to be an isekai, and I know people say that about a lot of isekai, but with this one in particular, the backstory of the fantasy world it takes place in is much more interesting without the isekai angle. And yes, there are moments that are enhanced by this being an isekai. As a gamer, I do respect this idea that the actions that you took in a video game have unintended consequences in this fantasy world, and they utilize that well, but the fantasy world and its story is much more interesting to me because I'm more, drawn in by the backstory of Lufus and how she was, put down as a young person and how she, tried to take over the world to make things right. That's much better without it just being like, I'm secretly like a gamer dude behind this pretty lady. It's just, it didn't need to be this way. And apart from like 2 scenes, him being a man in a woman's body did not matter at all. Stop reaching for your nuts, dude. They are not there. That being said, I enjoyed the shit out of it. I gave it a 9 out of 10 because fantasy anime fills the void that was left in me long ago. I just think that the plot is standard. And with so many brilliant anime coming out nowadays, a standard plot becomes very noticeable. Moving on, we've got My Status as an Assassin obviously exceeds the heroes. It's about a man who gets isekai'd with his classmates. He's an assassin, but he's stronger than the hero. Just listen to the title. It's all in the title. Frankly, there is nothing I could tell you about the plot that you don't already know simply by looking at this image. So let's just talk specifics. I like how this anime handles its human relationships because Oda, that's the assassin. That's the main guy's name is Oda. He was really not noticed in the real world, and the moment that somebody took notice of him and started caring about him and found him to be particularly interesting, he became very attached. And that makes a lot of sense to me because if you were commonly overlooked and suddenly you were appreciated for the things that you appreciate about yourself, I don't care how much of a loner edgelord you consider yourself to be, you would melt like butter. And if this was just an above average isekai with a hint of realism, then I would have nothing to complain about. Oh, how I yearn for the day. With our main character being an assassin, there is an ethical dilemma that pops up late into the runtime, and it makes me feel stupid for caring to begin with. If it was a random hit that would improve our main character's chances of getting home, I could sympathize. If it was a character that wasn't comically evil, I could sympathize. If it wasn't somebody who was directly trying to murder our protagonist and everybody he cares about, I could sympathize. I can't sympathize. I didn't even list all the reasons to kill this guy, and it's still treated like a difficult choice. I still gave it a 7, but again, it comes down to the way that the characters interact with each other. I think the dilemma makes no sense, but hypothetically, if it did, the way that characters react to the dilemma and treat each other afterward, I thought it was a really nice touch. I almost gave this one an 8, but I think it's a 7. The dilemma is too fucking dumb. Speaking of fucking dumb, Dad's a hero, Mom is a spirit, I'm a Reincarnator. If you guys don't start trying harder on these titles, I am going to file a complaint. This is the one I want a second season of the most, and I'm not going to get it because you guys keep on giving anime stupid titles. People are going to look at this and say no thank you next, unless they consume slop like me, and then they're going to be like, you guys heard the title, you understand the premise, but you are not ready for the cruelty that is going to unfold. Because yes, underneath the veneer of a sweet girl and her loving parents lies the story of a hitherto unconscionable death, despair, and war crimes, but more importantly, pour one out for my boy Salvo. I imprinted on this man the moment he showed up on the screen, and he needs a break. This one is cute, it's fun, with just a little bit of, wow, I did not expect that from this show. So I gave it an 8 out of 10. Of the 3 anime in this video, it's the one I think back on most fondly, because yeah, Last Boss was technically better in a lot of ways, but this is the one that resonated with me the most. That's it for this week's video, and if you're wondering where the top 10 of 2025 is, so am I. Tell me if you see it. It's almost March.